I hate the whole self-help industry, right? How can you be happy? What are the 5 steps you can follow to be a millionaire? What are the 7 steps that you need to get the career that you want? You know, me, 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 me. What about helping the guy next to you? What are the 5 steps that you can do to help the person next to you lose some weight? What are the 7 steps that you can follow to help the person next to you find the job that they want? Do you know how we get fulfillment? You can be happy because you did things at work. You can be proud because you did things at work. You can be excited because you had a big success at work. But do you know how you feel fulfilled at work? When you do something for someone else. It's the only way we get that feeling. It's the only way we get that feeling. Do you know why the statistics say that over 90% of people don't feel fulfilled by the work they do? It's not because of the job, it's not because of the pay, it's not because of the benefits. It's because we don't help each other anymore. We sit in our cubes and we work. And anything that we turn to anybody is because we need something, we need to get something. And yet we don't put ourselves out there simply for no other reason than to help somebody else. You know what generosity is? Generosity is doing something for someone else expecting nothing in return. At no point ever. I did something for him, why won't he help me? It's not an equation. It's designed to help you feel good. And Mother Nature has given us this feeling when we do something for someone else to encourage us to do it. Because when we are in groups, when we are surrounded by people who believe what we believe, trust emerges and our very survival and progress goes up.
We all want to rise higher, accomplish our dreams, overcome obstacles. But as long as we're only focused on ourselves, we'll get stuck. God brings people and opportunities across our path so we can be a blessing. When you take time to serve, you bring that elderly neighbor food each week. You clean up at the office even though you didn't make the mess. You mentor that young man that doesn't have a father. That's what allows God to take you higher. When you serve others, a new level of favor is released. We think we have to work our way to the top. The truth is, you can serve your way to the top. The scripture says, when Job prayed for his friends, he got well. When he served others, he went higher. Something powerful happens when you get your mind off yourself and you go out and do good for somebody else. Are you serving anyone besides you? Are you doing something for others outside of what your job requires?
There is an insatiable desire amongst many, even in the church, for status, titles, and recognition. And to get it, they'll do anything, say anything, undermine anybody, kill your reputation, destroy your influence, go after you by any means necessary so that they can get to the top. And I'm starting to wonder if there is any substantial difference between the church and the world, because everybody is trying to get up. Nobody's trying to get down. Nobody's trying to be low. Even when we do the right things, we often do them for the wrong reasons. Oh, I'm after you this morning. We do right things for the wrong reason. To be sure, those who put others' needs above their own often do the right thing, but they do it for the wrong reasons because they want to medicate low self-esteem. And they do so to their own detriment. They become people pleasers in the hopes that they will get something back from the people that they seek to please that validates their own existence. They are self-medicating their pain by false missions of humility because they think so little of themselves that they do the right thing, but it's for the wrong reason. It isn't their service that is toxic. They give great service. It is the motive of being people pleasers that is the problem. The antithesis, however, is we have become so against being people pleasers that we no longer serve. We seek only to be served. We have this vision, this idea, this philosophy that being served elevates us into positions of authority. And so if we can't have that, we would rather be alone than serve anybody. We would rather be lonely and alienated and go to bed every night hugging our pillow rather than to serve anybody. And the children cannot learn how to serve because they cannot be what they do not see.
When you focus not just on accomplishing your dreams, but on being a blessing, on serving others, then you're going to have more joy, live more fulfilled. And the reason some people are not happy is all they think about is themselves. My dreams, my goals, my problems, my family. I say this respectfully, you need to take a break from you. It's not healthy to have you on your mind all the time. Take a break from what's bothering you. Take a break from what you want, from what you're believing for, and go be good to somebody else. When you serve others, that's a seed you're sowing. God will make sure people are good to you. But if you're not getting any good breaks, you need to ask yourself, am I giving any good breaks? Am I showing people favor? Am I just doing what's required, or am I going the extra mile and serving? Isaiah said, when you feed the hungry, when you clothe the naked, when you help those in need, then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly come. Too often, we're waiting for the light to break forth. We're waiting for the healing, the promotion, the new level. The question is, have we done the first part? Have we served someone? Have we been a blessing? When that coworker has to put their car in the shop, hey, let me swing by and pick you up. I can bring you to work this week. You just serve someone. That single mom that's struggling to pay her rent, hey, let me buy your groceries this month. You just fed the hungry. That young colleague that doesn't understand the computer program, hey, let me stay late and teach you what I know. I'll help you to learn. When you make it your business to serve, you're going to see breakthroughs, promotion, doors open that you couldn't open.
Servitude cannot be done for what you can get out of it, for how you can be acknowledged or how you can be recognized or how you can be validated by it. You cannot medicate a low self-esteem, a fear, a vulnerability by hiding your vulnerability, by acting like you care about people, but you really don't. You really just want to be seen in a certain light. The real test is, would you do it if nobody was looking? Would you do it with the lights off and the cameras gone? Would you do it if the boss didn't see you? I'm not worried about the people who serve in this church when I'm here. I'm not worried about the people who come to church when I'm here. I am suspect of people who only do it when I'm here. You couldn't be doing it for the right reason if you only do it when I'm looking. I'm not worried about the staff member who performs well when seen and say they love you, but they really don't love you because they're really killing you, because the only way they will do their job, by which they get paid for all the time, is when you're looking.
On the Discovery Channel, I was flipping through channels one night and Deadliest Catch came on. And on this episode, they were in a huge storm. Now, for those of you who don't know Deadliest Catch, they take these crab fishing boats out in the Bering Sea, which is like terrible. And they put cameras on them and we watch, right? The reason that's, I guess, significant is because these crab fishermen have, I think, one of the top 5 deadliest jobs in the world. You know, I don't know what the exact number is, but dozens of fishermen die every year doing this. We apparently find that entertaining. Which it actually is. So they have cameras only on 5 or 6 of the ships, even though there are many, many, many ships that go out fishing every season, and they don't really come into proximity with each other because the ocean's huge, and they usually sabotage each other and give each other false information because they're all competitors. They're all looking to get the crabs and make sure that they find them and somebody else doesn't. And it's business, right? It's just business. It's okay. We all do the same thing in our own companies. And in this one episode, this big, huge storm was so violent that they had to bring all the pots, which are the big cages that they catch the crabs in. They had to bring all the pots back on the boat and wait out the storm. And just by dumb luck, one of the boats that had cameras on it was in proximity of a boat that didn't have cameras on it. And so they had secured all their pots on the deck, and so they started filming the other boat. And they filmed a guy climbing on the outside of the cage, securing the pots. And all of a sudden, a huge wave hits the side of the boat, and the guy's not there anymore. And the people on the boat with the cameras start screaming, "Man overboard, man overboard, man overboard." And they turn their boat towards where they think he might be. He's a stranger, they don't know him, they don't know the crew members of the other boat, and yet they react. And they turn towards him. And they find him in the drink. And for those of you who don't understand how dangerous this is, if the water is so cold that if you're in the water for, I think that it's a minute or a minute 30, hypothermia will set in and you die. And they come upon him, and he's screaming, "Don't let me die, don't let me die." And they pull him on board, not out of the woods yet. They strip off his clothes because it's wet and cold, and they wrap blankets around him to prevent hypothermia from setting in. And he survives. And it's overwhelming. And the captain comes down, and this is all on, you can go watch it on TV. The captain comes down, and he hugs this stranger, this young man, his competitor. He hugs this guy as if he's his own son. I lost it. Everybody is crying. And you realize what happened here was a human interaction. And the reason that they risk their own lives to help this other person, even though they spend every other day trying to get ahead and sabotage, is because at the end of the day, they're all crab fishermen. And they know something about each other. And they know something about the risk that they all take to do this. And when push comes to shove, they will put themselves out there to help each other for no other reason than they get it. They're one and the same. I will promise you that every single member of that crew that day went home with a feeling of fulfillment. I promise you that every single person on that crew that day felt more good in their hearts and in their jobs than the richest days that they've ever pulled in. My question is what are you doing to help the person next to you? Don't you want to wake up and go to work for the only reason that you can do something good for someone else? Wouldn't you want them to do that for you?